All right. Hey, I don't know about you, but one of the things that I just absolutely love to do is to reach out and see new young families come to church. I'm recording this on a Sunday, and this morning we had a new young family in church, and it's just a thrill to see that happen. If you are wanting that to happen as a pastor, if you're a church leader, if you're a worker in your church, and you're trying to, break out of just the handful of people that are at your church or the regular folks that are at your church and get brand new people, especially young families to church, then this podcast, this episode of YouTube is for you. We're going to hit one word again. You'll catch it here in just a moment. And so let's get going here at reachkeep.com. Welcome to the Better Sundays podcast. Focused, practical, and usable advice for church leaders looking to reach new young families and impact their community. Well, howdy. Mike Holmes here at the Better Sundays podcast at reachkeep.com. And again, I am excited. God does good things when we start to take this one word seriously. And last week we covered the whole idea of hustle, and we're going to kind of blend that word in with another word here in just a moment. Folks, if you want to reach new young families, they are out there, and you can get them into your church, and you don't have to wait a long time or have all sorts of fancy programming or strategies to make it happen. We believe in program and strategy. We'll talk about that in a second. But you can reach new young families now by taking this one word pretty serious. So anyway, let's jump into it here. My name's Mike. If you've never met me, I am the founder here of reachkeep.com. We've been part of the Baptist Youth Mission for a long time. I've been the senior pastor at Sinclair Baptist Church a couple of times now. Recently turned our church over, and very excited about that and the opportunity to be able to spend more time with you online. And this is one of the great things of technology that we can do. Never dreamed about this 20, 30 years ago, that we could reach the world, with a podcast or a YouTube video and touch a lot of folks. And so I'm just excited to be able to do this again and spend much more time being involved in it. So I'm here in my little studio out here in Sinclair, Wyoming, is where we are. And we just finished a great Lord's Day here, and we had a young family, a young lady and another young man actually come, different folks, but they came for a reason, and one of the reasons they came is what I want to talk about. Now, last week we talked about the idea of hustle and where you just, really kind of go after things and some of that, and if you missed that one, I'll put a picture of it up here, but make sure you go back and listen to that one. What we're going to talk about today is just something very simple, and it's what I call initiative. It's the idea of hustle, but hustle kind of goes across the board. In other words, you always, need to be hustling and getting things done. Initiative is when there's a set of circumstance, there's a, kind of a something that comes up, an opportunity, and you take a little ingenuity, you take a little chance at something, and you go for it. And I kind of call it like when opportunity meets hustle. Okay, that's the whole idea here, is that you take the initiative in a particular circumstance. And when that happens and you start to bring families in and you start to see it, it's a great thing. So let's talk a little bit about kind of what it is and what it is. So the idea is initiative happens when you take a chance, okay? In other words, this is not something that you normally do. It's not something that's always there. It's just like there's suddenly this opportunity and you're going to reach out to a family in a stronger, different way. You're going to go visit them. You're going to help them. You're going to assist them. It's just something that kind of popped up there. And when you do that, you are actually taking a chance, okay? It's not part of your normal routine. It's not something that you do all the time. But it's something that is going to bring some great fruit. And it's maybe was even on your radar, then all of a sudden, boom, it happened. And let me give you a couple examples. One, to me, is the idea, when Jesus was preaching one time, there was so many people, and he was kind of on the shoreline there, and he just like, oh man, I got to do something here. And so he hopped on a boat, and they pushed the boat out, and he preached to the shoreline. Now, that was not something the Pharisees did. That's something probably no one else had ever done before. It's just like there was an opportunity and a little bit of hustle and like, let's make this happen, and boom, great results came of that. I also think of Paul, the Apostle Paul, when he went to Mars Hill. He had this opportunity. His normal way of speaking, go to the synagogues. He had kind of a normal way. He'd done something in several other places. But when he was in Athens there was just suddenly this opportunity. And he had seen this, their stone or whatever they had carved to the unknown God there. And he stood up and he said, let me tell you about that guy. I'm going to declare him unto you. Okay, kind of out of the ordinary, but it bore great fruit. So the initiative, the idea of initiative is something when you take a chance. The other one I wrote down, I've kind of touched on this already. It is not really a program. It's not something that you normally do. It's something kind of out of your program. It's, you're at the store and you suddenly have an opportunity to help somebody and meet somebody, while you are doing your grocery shopping. You don't have a strategy of like going to the grocery store and helping people carry their groceries out, but you might see somebody that needs some help and you took that initiative, then you got into a conversation and whatever. Today I talked with a lady at our church whose son, I can't even remember the whole story, but the two boys had met like in when they were 5 years old, and then eventually became best friends, and now they're both married and having their own children. But the one guy just taken some initiative there way back 20 years ago. The family did to meet these two families, and they kind of bonded together, and now they're best of friends. There's those kind of things. In other words, it's not something you have in your corporate strategy and all that. And believe me, I believe in strategy. You need to have a strategy. We have a strategy. Okay, our strategy is to reach the moms and dads of elementary age kids. And so, man, we that's our programmatic strategy. We advertise to that. We point towards that. We have our kids program towards that. We do lots of things, and you need to have strategy. Very important thing. But this is something that is outside the realm of strategy, outside the realm of a program. It's just a circumstance where a little ingenuity, a little help, a little helpfulness. In other words, it's sort of a character-driven, and it's just, God just puts you in a circumstance and you take initiative. And that's it. The last one here that I want to give you is that it is just an opportunity. In other words, it's not something that's going to be coming up again over and over and over, okay? But it is one of those things, and it suddenly you see something that needs to be done, and your character, godly character inside of you drives you to take care of whatever this problem is. And thus you're helping a family and you're taking some initiative, and then this set of circumstances, kind of brings out this fruit, and the moment kind of comes together and great things happen. Folks, you will find, in fact, in our church, if we go back and take a look at the different people in our church, and if you're a reach keep kind of church and you're doing what we've been training and talking about, you go back, you will find that many of your people came through programmatic outreach and, flyers that you did, and, kids programs that were advertised in the community, and, all the things that you did, vacation Bible schools and different events and published things and printed things. But you're also going to find some wonderful little gems, some beautiful little stories. And you know what? You can't pin them to a program. You can't pin them to a strategy. They're just because somebody took some initiative. And I want to encourage you and let you know that there is fruit out there to be picked. That is not something that is organized and part of the 5-year plan and all that. There's just young families out there right now that if you show a little initiative, boom, you're going to step into their life and make a huge difference. Bring them into the fold, see them come to know Christ, see their children begin to develop, and how cool is that? Today we had a young man in our service. He's a college-age boy. He is serving the Lord, faithful in our church attendance here. He comes back home every weekend from college. He's doing a lot of studies and doing really well. He's involved in Bible studies on his campus. He's involved in ministry at that level. And he is one of those bright gems because it was probably 15 years ago or more that we took a little initiative, and I won't go into the whole story, but we took a little initiative, and one day, boom, he was in our system, and here he is, fruit that remains. It's wonderful. It's a wonderful thing. So I want to encourage you to take initiative outside of your normal programming, outside of your normal hustle and all of that, and let's see some new young families come into your church through this idea of initiative. Initiative is when hustle meets opportunity. The two of them meet together, great things happen. So if this has been important to you, give us a thumbs up. We appreciate that. Also, please share this with somebody. If you know a pastor friend or someone that needs this, you can go on. If it's on YouTube, you can copy the little address and you can share that on email or message that, text that to somebody, and that would be super helpful to get the word out. We're so grateful for all of our new subscribers. We have just been blossoming here lately. Seems like just a little bit ago we had 1,000, or striving to make 1,000 subscribers, and now we just surpassed 1,500 subscribers, and that's just very exciting for me. It all helps for us to get out there and to reach other people. If I can help you in any way, there is a free coaching opportunity for you, and it's on reachkeep.com. Had someone take advantage of this week. Okay, lady was just struggling with some issues in her church. She's involved in a nursery. She just needed to talk to somebody about it, and she clicked the button. It sets up a Zoom call, and you can do a Zoom call just on your phone. You don't need any fancy software. We just send you the link, and we'll spend a little bit of time, you and me, talking about whatever it is, your Sunday school class, your church, your strategy, or other initiatives that you might be able to take. So anyway, God bless. This is Mike Holmes here at the Better Sundays podcast at reachkeep.com.